Thank you very much. And this is, in fact, the biggest challenge for the airline industry right here, right now. There are no profitability without sustainability. So we are on a journey towards a totally different airline community in the future than we are operating right now. Widerøe is the small green airline in Norway. We operate a fleet of 45 aircraft, and Widerøe alone almost have half of the departure on the domestic network during a day in Norway. So it's a very, very important part of a public transportation system in Norway. Every second minute, a Widerøe aircraft is taking off or landing on this network. And this short-haul network in Norway is very special. Arctic coastal climate, heavy winds, heavy icing condition makes it a real challenge to operate such a network. And this combined with steep approaches and very, very short contaminated winterization runways makes this a real challenge. And of course, this will be a real challenge when we're talking about a new technology as well. We are now flying 26 of the smallest Dash 8 100-200, and this is a really, really good aircraft. And Widerøe, together with Bombardier, has modified this aircraft to cope with those kind of challenging conditions we have in Norway. But what is very, very special with the network is that 74% of every route flown are shorter than 300 kilometers. And this makes it a perfect test bench for new technology. But of course, the new technology in the first phase will have challenges with range and that kind of thing. So that's why this network is so special for all the OEMs and producers of aircrafts out there. With support from Avinor and other stakeholders here in Norway, we hope that we can build an attractive region for the producer like Glenn and Airbus to really test out the next generation of regional aircraft that are coming up. We started working towards a new short-haul aircraft back in 2014, 2015. And after a couple of years of work, we saw that we had to bring out a more sustainable investment strategy to make a profitable business model for the future. And in the late 2018 and early 2019, we shifted towards a zero-emission technology on our investment program in Widerøe. And the real dream we have, or the vision we have, is to make this very, very important public transportation system work without any emission, both locally and globally. And that's a tough vision, but we want to go all the way, and not only to lowering emission towards sustainable fuel and that kind of development. We in Widerøe, we will not develop a new aircraft, but we're trying to build a strong voice in the airline community to specify a good aircraft also for Norwegian conditions. And Norwegian conditions are very, very special. And this is to fast-track the development and try to cope with the high Norwegian political ambition towards a greener society, and of course to ensure that it fits our needs in our network. And we think that deep collaboration across the airline industry and rather novel ways of working are needed to make this dream come true. The Norwegian market is not big enough. The Scandinavian market is not big enough. We have to set a political and industrial agenda in all Europe to make this happen. Hopefully, we will see a more sustainable aircraft platform available by 2030, as Glenn says. But it's a lot of development, it's a lot of testing to be done, and it's a lot of funding to be done. This is very, very expensive development the OEMs are doing at the moment. And we think we see a process towards a greener airline industry on the small aircraft towards 2030, but this development will go on for decades. And I think when if you see 20 to 30 years in the future, I think you will find the solution of a lot of the problems we are challenging today. But we are rather convinced that the first aircrafts coming into the market are small aircrafts produced in the commuter category, and that will mean below 19 seats. So this will be a rather early part of the development of a new technology. We are not building a new aircraft, but we try to set the political agenda here in Norway to bring this process up to the speed it needs to have to make us cope with the challenge with a fleet going out of production towards 2030. And we try to spur political initiatives through all phases and to bring this Norwegian ambition to life and to have it implemented. But we also think it's a very, very important European perspective here. So with our partners down in Europe, it could be London City, it could be other airliners as Logan Air in UK, we also try to set a European political agenda to make our dream come true. Aviation is fundamentally the best solution to most of the society's transportation needs on the long and medium haul. There is considerably less impact on nature to build a runway compared to road or rail or other transport opportunities we have in the society. And to fly is very, very flexible and efficient. But there is one critical issue we have to solve, and that's the emission. And that's the big one for the aviation industry at the moment. And we have together to find new technologies that can further develop the strong position the airline industry have in the society today. But the development at the moment, as we see in Widerøe, is not going fast enough. And we are very concerned of getting there in time for our needs in Norway. And we need to speed it up. And what we think we need at most is definite and clear political goals and ambition for taking this industry in a green direction. And of course, we also need bold leadership across the airline industry. Thank you very much.
Give Stein Nilsen a warm applause. And I also have a question for you, because you said that you want to sell the Norwegian short-haul net as a perfect testbed for electric planes. And my question for you is, what do you need for the Norwegian politicians to make that possible for you to sell?
I think we need strong politicians here in Norway trying to set a real clear European agenda. I think these OEMs, these producers of aircraft, really needs help. We don't need the help, but the producer of aircrafts and those doing all the research on the new technology need also funding. So I hope the politicians here in Norway and in Europe can create some kind of European funding for all those research projects going on at the moment.
Thank you. Give them a warm applause.